I'm I'm 30 years old. I work at OPTOTUNE'S since 6 years now as a leader for the electronics firm and software group. I started my education at ETH. I did bachelor and master's in electrical engineering with a specialty on micro and optoelectronics. During my master's, I wasn't very sure where I would want to go. I even took lectures on the railway systems, for example, which I never used since then, but it was interesting. I did my master's thesis with OPTOTUNE. It was actually quite a cool project. I was able to design an ultra-fast tunable lens. That was actually quicker than anything they had done so far, so I was really proud of that. And then they had an easy time of convincing me to stay on. Yeah, sure. I mean, I started, as I said, as a master's student, so that's pretty much on the lowest level you can get. I was sitting in the lab next to the noisy machines and was doing my stuff there, trying to build that lens. Then when I properly started, when I got employed, I got a proper office as well. I was in the group of Chris Lanning, who does the liquid lens development. So I was immediately involved in interesting projects where we tried to improve and fix issues with our technology and customize designs for different customers. I got handed a task that was really challenging, where I could start investigating things and really it played well to my skills, so I could really progress very quickly. The very first project I did was trying to thermally stabilize our lenses, meaning by actively compensate for temperature effects in the lenses. At the time, we already knew that the lenses are somewhat affected by the temperature. We had all the sensors already integrated into the devices, but we hadn't figured out the algorithms quite yet. So then it was my task to come up with experiments, set up test plans for how to investigate this. And once I had all the data, make sense of it, figure out how we could actually compensate for these effects, characterize them. And in the end, I also was able to actually guide it through until it got released in a firmware release on our drivers. Sure, I mean, the big term we always say is like we do adaptive optics. We never do full systems. We always deliver one component that is usually the key component in an optical system. And we're special in that all our components are somewhat moving, deforming, adaptive in any sense. The biggest product line we have, and also the oldest one, is the tunable lenses. So that's liquid-filled lenses that actually deform their shape when you change the pressure inside. And that allows you to get lenses that change their focal power depending on an actuation signal. The project I worked on during the last 2 years was a very small, high-speed tunable lens. It wasn't quite as fast as the one I did in my master thesis, but it was still quite quick. And this is now used in the machine vision area, where you want to read like barcodes or get images, and parts are moving by very fast. So you want to focus on different levels on like a conveyor belt, for example, in a very short amount of time. So these lenses are then used to allow machine vision systems to focus very quickly, very accurately. Another application of our lenses is in ophthalmology, where if you go to the eye doctor, you will, maybe not now, but hopefully very soon, have an instrument in front of your head that instead of switching in glass lenses, you will get a nicely continuously tunable OPTOTUNE lens in front of your eye, and that will help you get a more accurate prescription. I can work with very clever people, very smart people that are experts in their fields. It's really enjoyable to just bump off ideas of someone and actually get a clever response back and sometimes get new ideas. We have a very open culture. We have open offices. Everyone can walk in, ask someone a thing. For me, that's the most attractive environment to work in, because it helps you grow, it helps you learn new things that might not be directly related to your job, just because you are involved in some discussion. So that, I would say, is the number one reason that keeps me at OPTOTUNE.